Hey everyone, Effie here. Welcome to the stamping tutorial for our Poinsettia Wishes 9 by 12 inch stamp set. There are 3 floral layers here and then 2 foliage layers, and then in this corner right here at the bottom, this is the one layer that will stamp the branches for the little berry bits that are included in the stamping image. So let's get started with the first layer. This is the first layer of the florals, and then I just kind of put the first layer of the foliage to make sure that everything will fit onto my A2 size panel. I'm going to use our Amethyst Collection layering inks for the florals, and then for the leaves I'll use our Soft Garden and Bright Fern dye inks. One stamping tip for our patent pending group layered stamps: stamp the first solid layers for both the florals and the foliage kind of not at the same time, but consecutively. So get that first layer floral image stamped and then align that first layer foliage stamp. Once you align these two images perfectly, you're not gonna have any issues with die cutting, because I know that some people have some issues with the white outline around the stamped image not being equal. So this is one tip: stamp that first solid layer of both the floral and foliage layers first, and then go on to stamping the consecutive layers after that. So you just want to make sure that those first 2 layers of both the florals and the foliage are aligned accurately. After this, you're not going to have any issues with the die cutting later. For the inks that I'm using today, the florals, I'm using our Amethyst Collection layering inks. For the leaves, I'm using a combination of our Soft Garden and Bright Fern dye inks. Another tip: you want to make sure that you clean off your stamps immediately or almost immediately after you ink and stamp them up to prevent permanent staining. If you use dye inks, they most likely will stain your stamps. And if and when this happens, it's not the end of the world. You can always start by inking up that darkest layer first and then work your way through the first and second layers, because in my experience, that third layer is usually the darkest layer and it's the most stained stamp. So what you can do is stamp that third layer first and then stamp that first and second layer, because you'll be able to see those bars and squares through those stamps because they're less stained. I also received questions on how to clean the stamps. I use the Hero Arts spray cleaner, that blue liquid. So I get the absorber cloth from the auto store. They're orange colored and they come in fairly large sheets, which I just cut into squares. I spray the cleaner onto the absorber cloth, clean the stamp, and then I use a microfiber cloth to clean off any excess residue. So our Poinsettia Wishes comes with these 2 really tiny stamps, which are just the centers of the 2 poinsettias. And I'm just using our Soft Garden ink to stamp these. So once I've stamped these 2 small centers, the stamping is complete. Next, you can just take the coordinating grouped layering die, which will cut out all of the images at once in one single pass. All you need to do is tape it down onto your panel. Make sure that your adhesive tape has enough tackiness or adhesive on them to make sure that the die doesn't move while it's moving through your die cutting machine. Once you've done so, you have all these beautifully die-cut pieces that you can use on your next paper crafting project. Here are a few of the cards and projects that our design team has created using this beautiful patent pending grouped layering stamp set. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you've come away with some tips and tricks from this video. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel because I update it regularly. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.